To whom it may concern, the outrage is outrageous, but it's the propaganda that you spill that is contagious. Since when does a story not supposed to invoke negative emotion? Or should we always just feel good but not pay the cost? That's like needing Gold Bond but not wanting to buy a dollar store lotion. And for some reason, there's always beef, and let you tell it, you think it's Burger King. You're supposed to have it your way. But it's just another comic book, just another story with pictures. It's not a sacred cow, and it's not scripture. But then again, for you, maybe it is. But this is what you should do. Write your own story, where your hero always saves the day, instead of being so upset at what a writer may say. Because all I see when I see you is the mob, pitchforks and torches in hand, storming Castle Frankenstein, trying to break down the door with your internet insults. You sniff pages and smell wet dogs, throw your hands up disgusted, and now there's a fall. You can't see buying another issue because you're mad. It's outrage and you refuse to read another page. Protest, protest. Somebody write a petition. Somebody, somewhere, someone, please listen. But ain't nobody listening because you addicted like 90s crack. One more book, one more story, and you'll be right back. So huff and puff and scream it's outrage, while Marvel prints another book with another writer, so you can be disgusted again by another page. And it goes on and on and on, while you trauma bond over pages of ink. Someone needs to stop and do some thinking, because that wet dog smell is the Stockholm Syndrome stinking in your nose, and like Flavor Flav said, that's just how the story goes. Because most of us don't really want to be free. Most of us just want to be comfortable in our crazy. Most of us don't really want to be free. Most of us just want to be comfortable in our crazy. Because most of us don't really want to be free. Most of us just want to be comfortable in our crazy. Black pill, anyone? Hey, yo, Dr. Wizard, restart the show. What up? What up? What up? Real Talk with Rich is back in the building. What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Rich. And yeah, we back here one more again. One more again. So what's going on, y'all? Happy Sunday. Hope everything is well on your side of the universe. Everything is everything, you know. I am happy to be here. A little tired. I got to say. I have poured out today. I had the kids today. I had to do some teaching today as well. And man, it's just been a long day. But it was a good day. Good productive day. Didn't watch a lot of football. I saw a little bit of the games or whatever, but I was kind of in and out because, you know, it's just I was kind of wore out today. So, and I can't believe that the weekend's already over. So, yeah. So tonight's show is going to be kind of like what we did last week. We're going to get into the shenanigans that is Storm issue number 3. And then we'll just chop it up, you know, AMA style for a while. Because I'm just a little tired in more ways than one. But I am happy to be here, man. I really appreciate each and every one of you that are here. Pericles, what's good? Kenneth, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for the super chat. Player Achilles is always my brother. Brooklyn, what's good? Kevin Pitts, what's going on? And yes, let me go on and get it out the way. How about them Cowboys? Yeah, the Cowboys, they won today. But my Texans won today too. So that's what's up, you know what I'm saying? Monty, what's good? What's good? What's good? Let's see. Just got out the hospital with the missus. Okay. Well, I hope everything is well. I pray for healing and strength in Jesus' name. So we here, man. Mawan, what's good with you? What's good? See, thank you. She healing. Praise God. Thank you, so. Them boys. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? They showed up today. They showed up today. They like they was on a mission. I think they are they're playing I think they're playing for their pride, which is what you're always supposed to do. But I think that with the season being where it is, a lot of these guys are playing for jobs for next season. A lot of these guys understand and know that it's not going to look the same. The team that they got out there is not going to look like the same team next year. So you better update your resume. It is what it is. Everybody says against Carolina, come on. Hey, they played the team that was on the field across the way, Imani. That's all I can say. That's all I can say, man. That's all I can say. So anyway, y'all, I hope everything is well on your side of the fence, man. Not a lot going on. I only had 2 books this week on my pull. I usually have about a dozen, but only 2 books. Mawan with the super chat. Salute. Thank you. So, yeah, man. But also, let me just go ahead and get the other shenanigans out the way. The housekeeping stuff. Like, share, and subscribe. Please hit your notifications bell, let you know when we go live. And yeah, smooth approach was good. So anyway, I only had 2 books on my pull this week. One was Black Lightning, issue number 2. Speaking of which, we will be talking to Brandon Thomas on Wednesday night. I believe so. Yes, Wednesday night. We will be talking to Brandon Thomas about Black Lightning issue number 2. So I'm not going to talk too much about Black Lightning tonight, except to say that it was a dope issue. I enjoyed it. Very good ending on it as well. So I'm excited for issue number 3. Yeah, Brandon Thomas is doing this thing on that book. And the other book is Storm issue number 3. That book is on fire for a number of good and bad reasons, I guess. I'll give you my initial thoughts about it, but I want Derek to put up my post or my blog post. I did a blog post back in December of 2021 that basically is entitled, "You Want It One Way, but It's the Other Way." And the premise of this particular blog post I did on my personal blog, Black Was Living in Comics. Derek, I don't know if you could bring that link, put it in the chat or whatever, but if you just blackwhatsliving.blogspot.com is kind of what it is. But anyway, that's where, and you can go to blackcomiclords.net. I have blog posts up there as well. But in this particular blog post, right, I kind of get into the shenanigans that is the story of Storm and why Storm is not written the way it should be written. Now, you got to understand that I wrote this blog post 3 years to the day that issue number 3 came out. That's a little surreal if you think about it. Book came out this past Wednesday, and 3 years to the day, I wrote this post. And in this post, I just kind of talk about why Storm gets the treatment that she gets. And while you may want it to be one way, it's the other way. And I use the analogy of The Wire, one of my favorite television shows ever. And in that particular series, there's a character that you can see in that blog post there. That's Marlo. Marlo is a West Side, Baltimore. Yeah, we're gonna get to that in a minute, H&H. So anyway, there's a scene in the show where Marlo goes into a convenience store and he buys a bottle of water and he slips a couple of pieces of candy in his jacket right in front of the security guard. He goes outside, walks right past security guard like he's not even there. And so the security guard goes out, confronts him and that kind of thing, right? And I would just simply say this, that Marlo basically broke it down for this guy. And the guy's like, hey, man, I'm just trying to make a living. I got a family, that kind of thing. Marlo says, I don't care. And then Marlo looks him dead in the eye and says, you want it to be one way, but it's the other way. And that's been the history of Storm and Black comic collectors and readers and fans. Y'all want her to be one way, but it's the other way. No fault to her own, but it is what it is. Now, to be frank, I didn't too much care for what Ayodele did, but I do not think that he's not a bad writer. I think he's a great writer, actually. But at the same time, I'm not going to ask that he be fired. I'm not going to ask him to be misplaced. I'm not going to criticize him and just tell flat out stories as to what he is, you know what I'm saying? The chat, and let me just say something about the chat from last week. Paul interviewed Morella, and the chat, there was a lot of stuff going on in the chat. And it was ugly in the chat. It was very, very ugly in the chat. Because people have strong opinions, strong thoughts as to how, Storm should be, how she should be viewed, how she should be written, all that good stuff. And I just thought that it was very, very, it was just out of hand. I think Derek and Paul did what they could. I will say that I think Paul did a good job interviewing, talking about the issues, not allowing his emotion to drive the conversation, even though some of it was definitely there. But at the same time, it was kind of like, we have to be mindful that this guy is a writer and his job is to write a story. His job is not to make Storm more beautiful. His job is not to make Storm this goddess that y'all want her to be. His job is to tell a story. Period. That's his job. His job is not to make you happy. His job is to tell you a story. I get frustrated with some people because y'all won't be black sometimes when it's convenient. And you have a view of what blackness is, but you don't really have a full scope of it because you're too close. Sometimes you need to look away from things or step away and have a perspective. Here's what I mean. We come from a tradition of griots who told stories. Their job was not to make you feel good. Their job was to impart to you some kind of wisdom. Their job was to tell you about a certain moral, tale through history, through lore, all of these different things. So what y'all were asking him to do, I'm not sure, homie, to be honest, can do that. Now, I saw a lot of internet activity this week. And I will simply say that a lot of people are angry. A lot of people are in their feelings. And let me get at the brothers. I'm going to be real. I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all. I'm going to keep it very real with y'all. Men are supposed to be logical. Men are supposed to be logical. You're not driven by your emotions. You're not supposed to be. Even when you're angry. You never let, and here's a word from the Godfather. The Godfather told Sonny Corleone, he said, you never let anyone outside the family know what you're thinking. Got to keep your cool. Got to be measured in your analysis and your critiques. You can't go off like a cardinal sin has been committed on anything, especially when it's a comic book. It's a comic book. It's a comic book. It's one story. It's one writer. That's what it is. You don't like it? Fine. Don't buy it. But stop allowing this stuff that's supposed to be fun, that's supposed to be, something that you enjoy, to be such a labor for you. I don't understand it. Be honest with you. I get people are wanting certain things to happen in a story, but you're not the writer. Let Oyodele, let him write the story. Let him write the story. Let him do what he needs to do to tell the story. Now, let me go ahead, because I already see something in the chat I don't like. If you hear the troll, I ain't the one. If you're here to say certain things or whatever and try to get me irritated, I ain't the one. I'm telling you, I'm not the liberal guy. I will bounce you. I have no problem bouncing you. So I'm gonna need you to chill. Kick, loud kick or whoever. I need you to chill, bro. I need you to chill. Because I'm not here for that tonight. I ain't here for that. I'm having a real honest conversation, because I'm sitting here watching grown men be all emotional behind a comic book. I don't play that. We gotta be bigger than that. It's comic books. I enjoy comic books like the next guy, but I'm never gonna let a comic book. I've never had think somebody need to be fired. Even if I didn't like what somebody wrote or whatever, I never said, you know what, that guy's trash. He need to go away. I ain't gonna say his name. I don't act like that. No. I need people to be temperate when they handle their business in regards to these books. It's comic books. It's a fictional character. People are triggered by ink and paper. By ink and paper. People are so offended that Storm had quote unquote sex with Wolverine. That bothers you? White men have been clapping black women's cheeks since the slave ship. Since the slave ship. Ain't nothing changed. So when I see people get beside themselves over these little things, whatever, I'm kind of like, are you really into this for the fun of it? Are you into this for the story itself? See, here's the thing about a story, especially redemption type stories or stories that involve ascension or whatever. There has to be a space where that character, that antagonist goes through something, deals with something that may not be as pretty and cute as y'all want it to be. I ain't never seen so many people talk about, oh, Storm, she's got this beautiful, wonderful dress on, and she's got this beautiful gown on. That ain't the story. Some of y'all just weird. Yes, she did, Kenneth. She did sleep with him before. It's not a big deal. It really isn't. But some people say, you know what? I'm not reading that no more. Fine. Don't buy the books. Don't buy the books. But I don't like this. I don't like this fake outrage. I really don't. You know why I don't like it? Because most of y'all that had something to say about what was going on in issue number 3, you're going to go out and buy the next Marvel book. You ain't going to stop buying Marvel books. You ain't going to stop reading Storm. You ain't going to stop reading this writer. You ain't going to stop doing that. You're going to go buy the next book. You may not buy this book, but how strong is your argument? How strong is your conviction or your passion if you turn it right around and support the same company that just insulted you? That's what y'all doing. Y'all get mad and then turn right around and give Marvel and Disney some more money. I could respect you if you say, you know what, I'm done with Marvel. I'm not buying no more Marvel books. I'm not buying because they keep disrespecting. They've been doing this for decades. And here's the thing. Ayodele's run is not over. He's going somewhere. This man, I'm gonna be honest, he gave Paul, when Paul interviewed him, he gave Paul a lot of information of what he was trying to do. He did an interview today with Ernie Blurred Without Fear and gave up a whole lot of other stuff. That was a great interview. Y'all should go check Ernie Blurred Without Fear, his interview with the writer. It was very, very good. Very, very good. So all of this stuff, bro, is just weird to me. It's just weird to me. Y'all losing it over a fictional character. Now, I understand everybody wants Black love. Let me say this. In respect to your desire for all of us that want Black superhero love and all that stuff, you got to have, I hope you're living Black love. I hope you're living it. That's now, it would suck to be you if you're not living that. Why do I need to see it when I'm living it? I don't need any writer at Marvel to tell me how to love Black women. Now, I understand people talk about representation, that kind of thing. We want to see it because it is rare. It is rare. I'm not dismissing that. Not one iota. But you got to understand something. And let me give you some history while we're here. When the slave ships came over and grabbed us from the continent, initially they only brought men. Women didn't start coming over till later. They brought them over because they wanted more slaves. The only way that was going to happen is there had to be some procreation. But the slave master, he definitely spent his time in slave quarters. So these women that came over, we had to create families from different people in different tribes. That's the reality. And while I understand some of that triggers people, you can't run from that. And for goodness sake, Wolverine is a Canadian. Would y'all feel better if he was blonde and blue-eyed? He had blonde and blue eyes. Would you feel better if he wasn't so hairy? Would you feel better if he was 6'2" instead of 5'5"? I don't know what you guys want. And I'm gonna be honest with you. At this point, I don't care what you want. I don't care. I am giving you the black pill. Let me explain when I say I'm giving you the black pill. I have a fatalist ideology when it comes to this stuff. I don't care I don't care if Marvel is going to give you something dope. I don't. I just look at what they do. My job is not to get you to buy Marvel books. My job is not to get you to support this, that, and the third, or whatever, for the sake of sales or whatever. My job is to simply tell you the truth about what it is that you're looking at. Because I don't trust it's going to get better. I don't. And if it's not going to get better, why keep supporting it? Why keep going back to the Marvel trough? We've had conversations on this channel, and I asked some of the people that's in this channel, that's part of the channel. I said, yo, if you could get black independent books, if you could get what you're getting at Marvel and DC right now, would you leave Marvel and DC? Would you divest? Would you walk away from Marvel and DC? Can you walk away from Black Panther? Can you walk away from Storm? Y'all not gonna do that though. Y'all not gonna do that. Y'all not gonna walk away from Marvel and DC. You're not gonna walk away from Black Panther. And guess what? As much Black Panther books you have, as much Black Panther merch that you wear, but it don't matter. It's got a little thing on it. It says Marvel. Property of Marvel. Like my man Varnell Young said, as much as we love that character, we think he's a hero. We think he represents us. He is not ours. She is not ours. We make these characters and we take them in and we make them our own. But even understand something, when you make something your own, it still does not mean that you can do whatever it is you want with it, because you do not own it. I don't understand, y'all. I mean, I'm just looking at it like, yeah, was it messed up? Did I like it? No, I didn't like it personally. But I wasn't like, man, I ain't buying this no more. I wasn't like that though. I wasn't so disgusted and so frustrated and so irritated and so in my feelings. I'm like, dang, y'all worse than what the election results from the other night. Over a comic book? Over Storm? What we doing? And I think that at the end of the day, I think it's going to be a dope story that that the writer's going to tell. I think it's going to be a dope. I mean, it's a dope story now. He explained why he did certain things, and I can accept his explanation, and I can extend him a little grace. Everybody's not going to do that, and I understand it, and I'm not hating on anybody that does. But what I am saying is, can we stop this false outrage? You're outraged over a hobby. That what we doing? Is that what we doing? Is that what we doing? You know why I respect Eric July to the utmost degree? Because Eric July used to go in on Marvel and DC all the time. He used to go in. I mean, he would just light them up. And one day he said to himself, you know what? I'm going to do it myself. Since they're not giving me what I want, and since they don't respect the source material, and since they won't do A, B, C, and D, I'm just going to do it myself. And people have called that brother a coon. They've called him a sellout. But what you can't call him is a coward. Can't call him that. He bet on himself, put up his own money, and started a comic book company and created a whole new universe because he got tired of what we were seeing in Marvel and DC. How long y'all gonna keep giving Marvel a pass? I'm just wondering, how long are we going to continue to put up with this foolishness? Y'all don't want to be free? Come on, man, let's get off the plantation. Let's get off the Marvel plantation. Let's walk away. Y'all ain't gonna do that though. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that. You're not gonna do that. Because what would your life be without Marvel and DC? I just wonder. What would you do without Black Panther? What would you do without Storm? What would you do without any of these characters? Manifestations I respect, I don't think it's the cause name calling a negative sentiment towards them. And that's the thing in Manifesto, that's where I'm at with it. Why are y'all really just being all this vitriol for him? You know, and I get it, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, you figure that the brothers from the motherland and he gon' lift up the sister, and he gonna make it a queen. I kind of get it. Y'all thought he was gonna give y'all something. Y'all wasn't expecting that. I get it. I understand why you're upset. But at the same time, I'm kind of looking at y'all like, okay, it's just comics, y'all. It's just comics. I got a shirt on that says happiness is comic books. And it is when you have the right perspective. Because I've read a lot of bad comic books. I have read a gang of bad comic books. I got long box after long box after long box of comic books that the writing is just not that good. I got multiple issues of Tom King's Batman that I wish I could sell. If I put a box in my car and say Batman by Tom King free, somebody would break my car window and throw their issues of Tom King's Batman in my car. We can't give them books away. We have a lot of bad issues, a lot of bad comic books that we've read over the years. And we've never we never petitioned anybody to be fired. We've never sent Marvel a letter and say, get rid of this guy. And I know a lot of y'all, I'm going to say his name. Well, I call him Johnny Law, but I'm going to just say his name tonight, John Ridley. When John Ridley was doing Black Panther and y'all was in y'all feelings behind that, I was like, man, come on, got to keep going, see where he takes it. And yeah, I had to come to the consensus that this is not a good book. I came to that consensus, but guess what I did? I still bought the books. Now, why I bought the books? Because I am a Black Panther fan. Now, why I bought the books? Because I wanted the full run. You know why I bought the books? Because I ain't no sucker. I see the big picture. Get in my feelings. I'm not buying the next issue. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I'm like, bro, time out. Everybody chill. Because I'm going to tell you something. You don't have a lot of writers who are doing interviews and talking about their writing process, talking about where they're going. You don't get that. Do you think we doing Ayodele any favors? He don't have to talk to us. He don't. I'm a person that believes in letting the writer write a story. I always give this is another analogy that I give. And after I do this, Derek, I'm gonna need you to take me to commercial. We're gonna come back. I always think about the movie and the story Misery, where a writer crashes his car and one of his biggest fans saves his life and nurses him back to health. And he finishes writing his book while he's nursing on the mend. Right? He does this, and he is so appreciative of her that he allows her to read the last chapter of the next book that he's doing. He shows her that kind of love. She reads it and she's mortified. She's horrified. Oh, you can't do this. You can't do this. No, she can't die. No, he can't die. He didn't owe her nothing, but thank you. Thank you for nursing me back to health. And I'm going to show my appreciation by allowing you to see what I'm going to write next. He shows it to her, and she gets triggered. See, some of this fandom stuff, it gets toxic, y'all. It gets toxic. We used to say that was them fanboys. That's them. That ain't us. Well, the more I spend time in this space and the more I see what goes on in our space, that's us too. Might be a small smidgen of people, but that's us too. So as I close this out, and I'm not going to talk about it no more, everybody chill. If you don't want to buy the next issue, don't buy it. You're not doing no one any favors. Just don't buy it. Don't call for the man's head. Don't call for his job to be fired. All that stuff. You want to protest? Go ahead. Knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. That's what you want to do. I just know it to be fake outrage. I called the name of this show Hasira Uwongo. Hasira Uwongo is a Swahili phrase that means fake or false outrage. We enjoy these comic books. We enjoy the art. We enjoy the stories, that kind of thing. At the end of the day, that's all they are. Paper and ink. What you do past that, enjoying it for being paper and ink, telling a story, what you do past that, that's on you. These books are supposed to be a form of escapism. But what happens when you can't escape? Escapism. What happens then? You're trapped in your escapism. Somebody needs to make comics fun again. As much as I would like to see Black love on in a comic book, I already have that with Black Lightning. Shout out to my guy. Would I love to see Storm and T'Challa together? Absolutely. But my life is not going to be different if I don't see it again. We got the huddle and run to go read. You got that. You got short boxes. You got long boxes. You got volumes of Black Panther and Storm books to read. You don't have to be just caught up in the present moment. It's kind of like an artist. If you don't like my new stuff, go back and listen to the old stuff. I'm just saying, y'all. Bargani, we got it's too much good stuff in comics to not be tripping over this kind of stuff. We've got more Black comic books now than we've ever had. And instead of enjoying and being happy, we're doing podcasts and shows dedicated to what we don't like about the Black comic book stuff that we're getting. Yo, Derek, take me to commercial. Make a long break. I need about 2 or 3 commercials. I need to recalibrate. And like I say, if you don't want to read the book, fine. Don't read the book. You don't want to talk about Ayodele's writing or whatever. Fine. But I'm not going to entertain your foolishness. If you ask me anything about the writing, you can ask me about the writing, or you can ask me about for certain things. But I'm not here for the name calling. I'm not here for the cancel culture. Who'd have thought that it'd come a day when Black folks get to a point, get on their nerves so much that they cancel one another? We're trying to survive this thing called America, and we're canceling each other over foolishness, over a comic book. That's what we doing. That's what we doing. This guy has been a good writer. And y'all mad. Y'all in y'all feels. Some of y'all in y'all feels. Now, I know that ain't everybody here, but man, that chat on Thursday night, man, that was ugly. That was ugly. And I'm gonna be honest. I was a little ashamed at some of y'all. Not this group that's in us here with us tonight, because I'm gonna be honest with you. The cast that was in the chat on Thursday night, they not usually here on Sunday nights. I'm gonna keep it stacked. They usually not here. We had a lot of visitors from other other planets. We had a lot of visitors, and shout out to them. We tried to be good hosts and good guests. We really did. But I saw a lot of people take an opportunity to wipe mud on our floor mat. And I'm gonna just tell you like this: if you don't like it, fine. But when artists start feeling like, you know what, they don't appreciate what I'm spending my time talking about the book, they don't like this because they get triggered or whatever, you know what? I'm not gonna tell them what I'm doing. I'm gonna stop sharing. We created this community for them. That's what I don't like. That's why I was insulted by what happened Thursday night. We created these platforms, Black Comic Lords. We created this platform for creators and writers to have a safe space to talk about what it is they do. We have no right to be their judge. No right. We should be saluting our brother, not hanging him up. Yo, Derek, let's go to commercial. I'll be back.
Here's our Black real estate and comics. What do I mean? Let's check out Black Panther. He is gone from the MCU for a reason. And what is happening in the comics? We can complain all day about how our champion is being treated, but we don't own that character. Look at Milestone character, curated by one of the greats, Dwayne McDuffie, my guy, but we don't really own or control any of his characters. DC does. So I'll ask again, where is our black real estate in comics? Meet Delta Dogs from Millennial Comics, created and controlled by us, where story sits in the forefront. Delta Dogs is more than just black characters being black for the sake of being black. This story is about 7 cousins that gets into an encounter with a mysterious glowing stranger that changes their lives forever. And with their unique abilities, this family may be the one thing that can save their hood that's being ruled over by a vicious super gang. With an ex-criminal as their leader and other superheroes that looks the other way when it comes to their environment, this will be an impossible mission to pull off. Grab these books in our hardcover Ultimate Edition bundle at millennialcomic.com so we can really have some skin in the game when it comes to the comic book industry. Keep doing y'all thing, Black Comic Lords. Peace.
This week in Black History, Black Comic Lord celebrates the artistry of Dennis Cowan. Dennis Cowan is a comic book artist with a flair for naturalism. If I didn't know any better, I thought the brother lived and breathed in brick-walled alleys, inhaling the pollution of the city streets and exhaling with pictures of agony and anguish. You see, it's hard to describe Mr. Cowan's art, so I'm forced to use a ghetto analogy. Dennis Cowan art is like fish and grits. It's not first on the menu, but you're glad you spotted it. Visually, it tastes good and your eyes will be filled. Yes, filled, I say, filled with detail. They say the devil is in the details, but Dennis be like, hold my beer, because the brother crafts scenes and faces where it makes you wonder, did he miss anything? Each panel is filled with action, and though pictures cannot physically move, Dennis Cowan shows and proves that they actually can. From Batman to The Question to the Black Panther and others, Dennis Cowan's art speaks like Terminator X speaks with his hands. That makes him a bad man and worthy to be celebrated. Salute the living legend that is Dennis Cowan, a Black history legend. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And until next time, peace. When Batman asks you, are you willing to die for your cause? You best believe it means you just might, messing around with the Dark Knight. But there's a darker knight on the scene named Orpheus. This Rich recommends is Batman Orpheus Rising. It is a 5-issue miniseries written by Alex Simmons and drawn by Dwayne Turner. Gavin King, aka Orpheus, meets Batman while investigating a series of cops dying by way of homicide. And get this, they think they are racially motivated. Ain't that a switch? Nevertheless, all these homicides are going down, and it seems as if these cops were no man's land veterans. Check that run out too. Either way, Orpheus goes to the Hill, the place that Batman rarely goes to confront a gang called the Deacons. In fact, you should go check out Batman the Hill for that revelation. Anyway, Batman being Batman, doesn't care for vigilantes in his city that he didn't or doesn't train. The nerve. But Orpheus is just trying to give black children a black superhero. How you love that? They work it out, of course, and save the day. Side note, Orpheus does die for his cause in another tale, Batman War Games. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, peace. Yo, we back. Thanks, Derek. I appreciate that. Yo, so I want to show everybody this dope shirt I got on. I want you guys to stay tuned because in the near future, I'm hoping 2025 is going to be amazing. But one of the things we're rolling out 2025 is this shirt here. It says happiness is comic books, and on it is basically a spinner rack with black characters on it, black comics, with my man Franklin. This shirt is the Black Comic Lords variant. The book that uh, Franklin is holding is Black Cotton issue number 6. Black Comic Lords had a variant, 250 issues of issue number 6 in that book. And so my man Otis, Black Lion Otterberry, did the art on this here. And we're going to be working in conjunction with Winston Swam. So we're going to roll that out to you pretty soon. We're still trying to get the logistics figured out on how, what's what, okay, guys? But that's coming. I wanted to wear the shirt tonight just to let you know we got some fire, got some heat coming down the pipe. So, yeah, I appreciate that, y'all. We'll have it. It's going to be for sale. I'm hoping that they have long sleeve shirts and hoodies as well. I think they will. So, yo, stay tuned, man. We're going to roll out a promo campaign, commercial, the whole ball of wax. So shout out to those to my brothers, Otis and Jay, for sure. So anyway, guys, we got a show. We still got a show. Listen, ain't nobody die. Okay, we all right. We gonna be all right. Gonna be all right. Okay, but we're not talking about that foolishness no more. I'm done with that. But I do think congratulations are in order for the Buffalo. Or should I say, Colorado Buffaloes, Travis Hunter, who won the Heisman Trophy. I like that young man. That guy is amazing. That guy is amazing. Guy plays both sides of the ball, goes hard. And I got to say that it doesn't suck that he has Deion Sanders as his head coach. Because Deion knows what it's like to be the guy. He knows what it's like to be under pressure. And so I'm just hoping that as this guy takes his next steps toward the NFL, along with Shador and Shiloh, that they will stay grounded and that they will be honorable citizens. You know what I'm saying? I just love Travis Hunter's game. That guy balls out every Saturday. So shout out to them. They got one more game, bowl game, so I'm looking forward to that. Also, shout out to my man Derek. Ancient H was talking about, what's going on in Chapel Hill. So Bill Belichick, the Super Bowl, 6-time Super Bowl champion, Bill Belichick, is now a North Carolina Tar Heel. And people are in their feelings. Now, here's the thing. Some people say he should have went there or whatever. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute, time out. Now, Mac Brown spent time down in North Carolina before he won a national championship in Texas. Don't poo-poo on the North Carolina Chapel Hill. They got a fantastic basketball program, have always, but their football program ain't nothing to sneeze at. I mean, look, them dudes, they nice. They nice, okay? I'm not mad at Belichick wanting to do. I mean, look, here's the thing. I think Bill got tired of dealing with grown men acting like babies. So it's like, if I'm gonna deal with people or men acting like babies, I might as well teach college. The game is pure. These guys are motivated to get out their humble beginnings. They don't have millions. Yeah, some of them gonna make a little bit of money, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But there's something to be said about the college game. So salute to him. I'm happy that, he's back in coaching. Clearly he misses it, you know what I'm saying? So I figured he was gonna sit on the sideline and tell a few stories and chop it up with a few people, kind of like what Tom is doing now. But, he took a year off and said, you know what, I got to get right back in it. So I'm not mad at that. So, yeah. Prime one says, nah, son, grade school is the worst. Yo. So anyway, I'm just saying, man, shout out to them, though, for real. Yeah, shout out to them. I Steeler Nation, what happened? What happened? Okay, y'all ain't Steeler Nation. Y'all didn't really think I was gonna let that go today, huh? Yeah, you thought I was just gonna pass that up, huh? You thought I wasn't gonna mention that them Eagles, the fly Eagles fly. But look, I love T.J. Watt. T.J. Watt is probably better than his brother. Now, J.J. did some crazy things. J.J. did some crazy things when he was in Houston. But T.J., that dude is a ball hawk. That dude is like, I mean, he's like a bigger version of who's the guy? God, I can't think of his name. The safety that they used to have, the long hair. He's just a bigger version. That guy there runs to the ball. Is that an Eagles stole from? But anyway, yo, I, you know, it is what it is. My man, shout out to 101 podcast talking about Bo Nix. Yeah, Bo Nix, but look, bro. Ooh, that dude, if that dude stay healthy and they get some more people, that dude gonna be nasty, bro. That dude gonna be a problem for real. If they put the right pieces around him, people gonna be like, Peyton who? John Elway who? That guy is young. That guy is talented. That guy got wheels. I'm gonna be honest. When they put a captain's patch on that dude jersey as a rookie, I said they must be out their mind. Ain't no way you give a captain's patch to a rookie unless that dude is special, and clearly he is. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all, bro. Because man, yeah. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice in Denver for a while, y'all. So that's what's up. So the Steelers always had that. Def Rocker said Steelers always had that problem with the Eagles throughout the history. Yeah. God, dog, man. Ooh, man. That's the thing about the Eagles, though. When the Eagles show up, it's hard to beat them on Sunday. I mean, it just I don't know what they putting in the water in Philly, but they there for the business. I mean, it seemed like Pittsburgh struggled the whole game. I mean, to me, it wasn't even as close as it was. I mean, it was a close game, but I just saw them beat up Russell Wilson and the backup the whole the whole game. I'm like, good grief. So but anyway, so that's enough of sports and all that good stuff. So what's up, y'all? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Everybody knows about the Storm book came out. I talked a little bit about the Black Lightning book. I don't want to get into it because we're gonna talk to Brandon Thomas on Wednesday night for our Wednesday wrap-up show. And I'm hoping the squad will be here so we can do a Wednesday wrap-up after that or whatever. My man says, since Jaworski. Oh, okay. Boy, that's old school there. That is old school. Ron Jaworski. Yep. Remember Ron Jaworski. I remember them days. Remember them days for sure. But you didn't like Randall Cunningham? You like Randall Cunningham? Cunningham was pretty nice. He was kind of one of the first scramblers, black scramblers in the league, other than Franz Harkinen. So yeah. But so yeah, I mean we're gonna be talking to Brandon Thomas on Wednesday night. We'll chop it up here, probably maybe about an hour or so, then we'll get into the squad. Well, the squad hadn't been together in a minute, you know what I'm saying? We're coming to the end of the year, and I'm not sure whether or not we're gonna do a show. The thought is we will. I ain't that sure. But if you guys want Black Comic Lords to do an end of the year show, let me see a 1 in the chat. Y'all put a 1 in the chat if y'all want to see a Black Comic Lords end of the year show. Because I'm going to be honest, I'm ready for this year to end. It has been a rough year. A lot of dope stuff has happened in this year. A lot of dope stuff happened in this year. But man, it has been some brutal stuff also that's happened in this year. I'm like, man, we lost a handful of kings. We man, we got another president that was once president. I don't want to say his name, but he's here. He's back. We're going into 2025 with that dude in the White House. And while I am not tripping, I gotta say, y'all grab your popcorn. That's all of us. It's gonna be a show. So yeah. Promises, I'm waiting for the decade to end. What you mean? So it's been rough, bro. It's been rough. Cat Williams said that this is the year of exposing, and it has been a lot of that going on. I don't like to talk politics here. I can, but I don't really like to. But I will say something about President Biden pardoning his son, right? And I am not mad at that. I can't knock the hustle, y'all. Some people think that he shouldn't have pardoned him. Like, bro, you got the power. It was my son. I'm going to do it. Care what none of y'all say. That's my fam. You know what I'm saying? Y'all want Biden to be honorable? 94 crime bill, Joe Biden, that's what y'all want? Y'all want that guy to be honorable. Okay. All right. Yeah, okay. Jake Wook say we need awards. We need awards. Let's see, awards, book of the year, breakout artist, right? The biggest surprise. We'll see if we can make it happen. We'll see if we make it happen. Yeah, I want the 90s back. Took away Betty White, James Earl Jones, Mighty Morphin, GOAT, JDF. Man, it was a lot, bro. You know what's can I just say something about there's so much there's been so much blues and so much tragedy and so much pain that we don't even have a song. We don't even have an album this year. To my knowledge, y'all might know more music than I do, but I don't know a album or song that really speaks to this year. You know, artists used to be able to like see the sign of the times and be able to create music and art that would help us get through it. What's helping y'all get through some of this stuff? Because I'm old school and I have to go back and listen to Marvin Gaye talking about what's going on. I have to go listen to Sly Stone. I have to go listen to Al Green. I don't even know what's out. I don't even, who is the guy? I just don't know who that dude is. And maybe time has passed me by and I'm just the old dude. I know people talk about Kendrick, but at the same time, it's kind of like, I'm, and again, let me be honest with you. We can talk hip hop for a minute. I like Kendrick, but I'm not the biggest fan I'm not the biggest Kendrick Lamar fan. I'm not. I dug his first album, but anything kind of he put out after that, you know what I'm saying? I think the single I Love Myself, I thought that was hot, but I'm not really the biggest Kendrick Lamar fan. And I think the reason why that is because I grew up with Chuck D. I grew up with KRS-One, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Run DMC. It's kind of hard for me to kind of like be hyped over this stuff that's coming out today. I just really can't. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, it's all right. It's all right. Yeah. Some people may think it's the greatest thing in the world. Now, Imani, he brought up Killer Mike. Can I be honest about Killer Mike, bro? I can't take Killer Mike serious. I'm gonna be honest. I like him as an MC. He's cool. but his MCing don't line up with his real life stuff. He got the MC ain't MCing in real life. I'm just saying it's like two different people to me. But you know, that's kind of how I see it though, bro. It's just not. Now they brought up the LL Cool J and the Q-Tip. Yeah, the MC Light album I thought was pretty dope as well. And it's weird because these old dudes is doing this music and it's good, right? But it's still, for me, it's kind of like, man, no. And I think that as I get older, bro, I try not to. I am an optimist. I have to be. I always have. I'm always on the side of hope. But part of me believes, and this is just how I feel about music in general, particularly hip hop. I need hip hop to die for real. I needed to go back to being underground. I needed to really like take a nosedive so it can go to the, like my man Manifesto said about, bum stiggity bum. I needed to go back to the sewer. I needed to reinvent itself and come back to the surface. I really needed to go underground again. I wanted to kind of go underground so it can come back up again. Because what's passing for quote unquote hip hop is just not good. I heard that they had the BET Hip Hop Awards at a club. At a club, y'all. How the mighty have fallen. Yeah. Now the Lady of Rage has done some stuff with she did some stuff with MC8 about a couple of years ago. I heard. And she did some stuff, I think, with DJ Premier. And he matter of fact, MC8 did an album. So this guy's doing music kind of in pockets or whatever, but it's kind of like, man, I really want this stuff to like really to be a moment, to be an experience. I the last time I was excited about I guess music, hearing music or whatever, Scarface did a Tiny Desk. I grew up, listening to Scarface. I'm from H-Town, love the Ghetto Boys, whatever. But he did a Tiny Desk, and that Tiny Desk was amazing. There have been some guys that have done some dope Tiny Desks, but that was next level. I was like, wow. And I'm like, I've heard these songs for years, but for him and Mike Dean to kind of do what they did in that moment, yeah, that was different. That was different. Nerd Law says Beyonce's Cowboy Carter was the Black Music Album of the Year, in my humble opinion. The thing about Beyonce going and doing a country album, I thought it was cool. I kind of wish, I don't know how long she worked on that album, but I will say that I kind of wish that she tried to give it still a pop feel. I think that if you're going to do country, you need to do country. You need to really do it. You need to spend some time with Darius Rucker and some of these other cats that's really doing it to get it, because it still had a kind of a pop feel to some of it or whatever. It was cool for what it was. But I'm, being from the South and being from Houston or whatever, country music for us is not a big deal because that we grow up with that. You know what I'm saying? We grew up with country. We grew up with Zydeco. We grew up with this stuff. So, you know what I'm saying? It's we know country. You know what I'm saying? She knows country or whatever. And she did some amazing stuff on it. I'm not gonna say the album wasn't solid. She had some good music on it. But I think the tracks that the singles that they chose, I didn't too much care for the singles, I would say. Martin Jackson says, I don't know if hip hop will die. The next best thing, maybe trying to find small indie artists and trying to do something unique. Once Primal One says, I miss variety. I miss being able to listen to songs that had no cussing in it. That part. I miss when MCs made a dirty and clean versions of a song and it was equally dope. They weren't lazy with it. I mean, bro, look. The radio is not the spot no more. I think it's part of the reasons why music is down is because nobody is really looking at the radio no more. Nobody really cares about the radio no more. And I listen to more podcasts than the radio. I really don't be bothered with the radio because the radio today is, I'm gonna be honest, the radio today is trash. I'd rather listen to some jazz or some talk radio. I just really do. You know what I'm saying? And even if you listen to some R&B jazz station, I mean R&B stations, or stations that play R&B or whatever, they play the same R&B all the time. Like, bro, there's like 11 million different songs you can play. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to play Strawberry 23 or Strawberry Letter 22 10 days in a row. You can play something else, okay? Yeah, Jay Will says, I like rap, but I've hit that jazz era in my life. You walk by my office during the day and I'm rocking some Robert Glasper. Yeah, I love Robert Glasper, man. Yeah, he's dope. He's dope. Then it happens with age, I guess. You know, your palate changes. And I mean, I was no different. I mean, you know what I'm saying? When I started really listening to jazz has always been in my forte. Now here's my man DJ Fizz. There's so much good music out there, spoken like a DJ. He said people just got to go look for it. Most people complain, don't even listen to new music. It's out there. Okay, and I'm guilty of that, Phil. I'm not gonna say I ain't guilty of that. I mean, what I'm saying, but I'm like, if I got to hunt it down, bro. If I got to hunt it down, really? You know what I'm saying? When I go to a music store, I never go to the new section. I always go to the old section, 60s, 70s, 80s. That's the section I haunt. You know what I'm saying? You're right. I don't know this stuff, but anyway, going back to this about jazz. Okay, so I grew up listening to jazz. My father played trombone, I should say. My father played trombone for TSU Ocean of Soul when he was in college, and so he introduced me to a lot of jazz, and I'm not talking about your traditional bebop jazz. We had a lot of big band, Count Basie stuff like that, and then he would play cool, slick jazz like Jimmy Smith, stuff like that, and that kind of just is in my DNA, so to speak. So jazz is literally like something that it's like I don't know. It's kind of like if I was a baby and I go to sleep, that's what I'm going to sleep to. He said, but you hunt for comics. Come on, son. Tons of heat out there. Yeah, you know. I tell you what, Phil, you just gonna have to put me up on some stuff. Now, Styles Hasira says Tim's is pretty good. Tim's is pretty good. I do like her song. I mean, some of her songs, I should say, not everything. Yeah. So, you know, and you say, but you hunt for comics. I do, bro. But I guess when it comes to music today or whatever, I just don't have the time to do that. Now, I was like back in the day. That's what I did. I was more of a music head than I was a comic head, and I did just that. You know what I'm saying? My wife bought me a turntable. I kind of didn't like it because the reason why I didn't like it initially was because I know how addictive hunting albums is. I used to go to record conventions all the time. I went to my first convention in years out here in Louisville, and I had a good time. And I brought some dope stuff home. And, you know, I said to myself, wow, I'm back in these crates again. So, yeah. in Manifesto, you got jokes. He says the rich has only so much bandwidth, can't go from dollar being bullied to changing, digging in the crates, demon. I mean, it's the truth though, bro. It's it's weird too, is because on my personal page, my personal Facebook page, on my personal Facebook page, we've been doing 30 days of life-changing music, right? And I've had things from rock to gospel to cyberpunk. Today's like day 18, and I posted Kraftwerk's Trans Europe Express, and that is crazy because that's like old school hip hop, breaking stuff, and so it's like that's all in the in the noodle. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, man, this stuff here was, when I was in middle school, going to school across town, we would listen to Numbers and Kraftwerk and Trans Europe Express. And that came out in '77. So appreciate it. Love your page with the 30 days of music. Yeah, man. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yeah. I mean, I'm saying again, that's just music. I dig music, but because when I read comic books or whatever, oftentimes I'm reading comic books and I'm playing a lot of jazz. My favorite jazz musician is probably John Coltrane, followed by Thelonious Monk. But I really love Grover Washington Jr. I can just sit up and listen to Grover Washington Jr. all day. I never get bored listening to that dude and at home. It is just, that guy is amazing. And I'm not the smooth jazz type person, but I dig that stuff. I like my music, kind of, upbeat, going or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm listening to, say, like Herbie Hancock, Def Rocker, absolutely. Herbie Hancock, Billy Cobham. I love drums. I love jazz drums. Love that stuff. That's why I haven't, it's funny. My partner, he posted some Rush a couple of days ago. And if you know anything about Rush, the band or whatever, Neil Peart, that guy is amazing. That white boy is amazing on drums. And, that's the kind of stuff I like, you know what I'm saying? My man said I need all of them in my collection. Yep. So yeah, man. I mean, but that's music though. So anyway, let's get back to comics, y'all. I didn't talk enough about music. We're supposed to be doing a comic book show. I'm just, I was just so, what's going on? Kenneth Bridgewater. Okay, so I forgot about this super chat. My bad, my brothers. Thank you for the super chat. Black Lightning has a new series. Yes, sir. Do I need to read anything else before getting into it? Absolutely not. If you want to read the absolute power stuff, it's kind of going in the direction, it basically picks up where that left off. So if you want to read Amanda Waller's stuff, the absolute power stuff, you can. But you can pick up right where, with issue 1. It's interesting that Amanda Waller in issue 2, and I don't want to get into it, but since it's my guy, I got to say something about it. So there are people who say that Amanda Waller was right. Okay. Now, Paul, for whatever reason, he is the biggest Amanda Waller stan. I think they related. He just don't want to tell us. Is the Amanda Waller Jamaican on the cool? I mean, I need to find that out because he be going hard for Amanda Waller. Now, I like this. Says now 33 and my personal jazz favorites are Ahmad Jamal, right? Corey Henry, Linger's performance with Snarky Puppy is one of the greatest performances of all time. Roy Ayers. Yes. I love some Roy Ayers. Oh, for sure. Woo! Man. What is a cookout without In the Sunshine? What's a cookout without that, bro? There's certain standards in terms of music that you play at the cookout. And definitely Roy Ayers is on that list. And everything from Maze. But anyway, back to you, Paul. Amanda was right, though. I mean, look, bro. See, I don't understand you comic book fans. That y'all had this so much love for these villains. Amanda Waller is a villain. Now, she took everybody's powers. And she had her reasons. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But she's still a villain, Paul. She's still a villain. One in one podcast said, "Cookout without Roy is dry, burnt food." Oh, for sure, man. Oh, for sure. And we lost Frankie Beverly this year too, bro. Let's not forget that, bro. I mean, we lost James Earl Jones, but we lost Frankie Beverly, bro. Do you know how much music? Do you know how much music come out of Frankie Beverly, bro? I graduated in 1986. Our school song was "We Are One." DJ Clark Kent, lost him this year. I mean, bro, I'm like, man, what's going on? Somebody put bubble wrap around Stevie Wonder. And we lost, don't forget, we lost, God, we lost Quincy Jones. Phil says, "I'm not an Amanda Waller fan. She a villain, and her Luther Joker villains we could easily get rid of." Yeah, Clark Kent's gone, bro. I mean, again, it is what it is. Now, as far as Amanda Waller goes, so basically in Black Lightning, without giving away, there are factions out here in these streets that are saying that she was right, and that these superheroes have no business going around unchecked, and so it's an interesting. I'm curious to see where my man Brandon takes the story in regards to her being right. So, yeah. So this is the topic for discussion. Waller had a point similar to Tony Stark wanting to build a shield around Earth. I also think Killmonger was right. We can have some great discussions. What's weird about that is because I remember watching the Hawkeye series on Disney Plus, and there's a part in the Hawkeye series where he goes into a urinal, and there's a little somebody drew or with a marker, Thanos was right. It's something to be said about villains and how villains, see the world. Because my man Otis, shout out to my guy, he has been a sensei for me in this space in regards to just comic book commentary. He's the first person I heard say that villains drive story. And so when you think about the motivations of a hero wanting to have purpose in their life, wanting to help the weak person, that kind of thing. But then you got to look at the motivations of a villain. I see something that ain't right, and the only way I can correct it is go outside the realms of the law, the parameters of the law. And so I feel justified, or as Thanos says, some of the best quotes regarding villains came directly from Thanos. How did he say it? The hardest decision require the strongest wills. That's crazy, but it's true. Yeah, it's the human story, conflict within. Yeah, absolutely. So when you think about a guy like Killmonger or whatever, now let me say this. Let me go on record and say that, okay, Eric Killmonger from the comic books is not the same dude that Michael B. Jordan played. Michael B. Jordan made Killmonger he gave Killmonger appeal. Because Killmonger in the comics is savage. You know, I'm just saying. We got this. Say, well, let's look at Luigi Margione. Yep. Joker, I'm just the guy that's ahead of the curve. I hate that they messed up Joker when they did the second Joker movie. That was. Could you imagine Matt Reeves doing something with the Joker? Even though there is an illusion that he may do something with the Joker, because at the end of the Batman story, you see the clip that didn't make the movie or whatever, him talking to him in Arkham. That might be fire, bro. But we'll see. Jay Wilkes says, if you look at the deaths of mutants, you can make the argument that Magneto was right, and he's able to refuse to do what was needed to protect his people. Magneto survived Auschwitz. Yeah. Well, what's interesting about Magneto is I think that people identify with Magneto because he comes from an oppressed people, and so he's fighting for an oppressed race of people as well, the mutants. But Charles Xavier seems to want to just partner with them or whatever, wants mutants to be constrained. But this is coming from somebody that can read minds. So, you know what I'm saying? How fair is that? You know what I'm saying? Do you really want somebody out here who can read minds? I don't know. Death Rock Saturday the Joke was the Broadway play. Yeah, it was. Manifesto says Killmonger went from revolutionary to imperialist reactionary. The summer will never set on the empire of Wakanda. 1 in 100 podcast. Did you hear that Clayface has a movie coming? According to Variety. Yeah, I'm here for that. I like Clayface as a character. I wish they would do more with the minor villains, I guess, in Batman's Rogues Gallery. I would love for them to do something real with Solomon Grundy. I really would love for them to do something dope with Solomon Grundy. I just that dude is waiting to be a star on screen, I feel like. Now I know he was in the he may be in the new Long Halloween series that's going on right now, or the last Halloween, I think that's what they're calling it. But I would just love for them to do something with him. And again, I don't like the anti-hero. Me personally, I want my villains to be villains, and I want my heroes to be heroic. I don't want the guy that's kind of like in the middle or, in the gray area, and he doesn't know he wants to be good today or bad tomorrow. I don't know. I need your yes to be yes and your no to be no. If anything, Xavier should have turned into a villain, seeing all the messed up thoughts people should have messed him up. It happened with Jean in the Phoenix Saga. Well, you know what? The thing is, the Cowan story arc really had the X-Men being villains. They were the villains. My favorite X-Men story from the Cowan era was X-Men issue number 4. He goes, this is Charles Xavier and Magneto. They go and have a meeting, kind of like at the United Nations, I think it was. And they're sitting down, and of course they run into some people from Wakanda, and they're kind of like, we would like to really get in. Wakanda's kind of like, I don't think so. But Wakanda ain't trusting nobody. But They kind of like, hey, look, we got this drug for sale. You gonna buy it because you need it. We're gonna give you cures for cancer. We're gonna give you all of this, but you're gonna leave us alone. And you're gonna respect us. I mean, that's balls out. It's kind of like he's out of line, but he's right. So, yo, you know what I'm saying? But that whole era of what was going on with the X-Men, they were the villains. They colonized, it is shout out to Storm. She terraformed Mars. They just went places and just took it over. Okay. I guess. Now, Vandolph the Black says Kryptonic Entertainment put up a Kickstarter for DC Heroes RPG revamp. I'm currently working on a project with my mentor, who's an editor for Call of Cthulhu. Do you think a Black TTRP would work? Absolutely. Yeah. If you put it out there or whatever, and you market it that's what that is, absolutely. Here's the thing. Black comic book consumers want this kind of stuff. They don't want the normal stuff. They want stuff that's kind of an offshoot of this or whatever. And it may be, it doesn't have to be great value type stuff or whatever, but if you write a strong story and make it culturally relevant, people will eat it up. It's the execution that's always the trick. If you can execute it right, it'll be amazing. Let us know, because we'll definitely help with that, for real. Def Rocker says, the X-Men have always reminded me of the United Nations different ethnicities. Yeah. Well, you know what, I mean, look, I'm having issues with the X-Men right now. I'm only reading 2 X-Men books. I'm reading Storm and I'm reading X-Force. Shout out my man, Jeffrey Thorne. I'm loving what Jeffrey Thorne is doing with X-Force. The reason why I'm reading X-Force is because Jeffrey Thorne is writing it. That's because I've never really been an X-Force guy. I got some X-Force books in my long boxes. I got, first appearances, George Washington Bridge, all that good stuff, black characters, blah, 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 blah. But I never really was just an X-Force guy like that. So, but I love Jeff's writing. And so I'm more of a fan of the writing than I am of the actual X-Force books, which is interesting too, because I'm watching Forge become this leader or be this leader. And I like this dude. I like Forge as an X-Men. I didn't too much care for Forge back in the day, but I like what Jeffrey Thorne is doing with some of the characters around him. And of course, Jeff doing his thing. Don't sleep on X-Force, y'all. It's a good book. The Weapon X X-Men is coming out in February. And you know what's weird about, like I said, I'm only reading a couple of X-Men books or whatever. I'm not reading Exceptional X-Men, which is out there, whatever, you know what I'm saying? There's going to be some other stuff that's going to come down the pike too as well, you know what I'm saying? I was not reading Nick's, none of that stuff or whatever. I just really needed a break from the X-Men. As much as I love X-Men, I kind of wanted them to kind of go back to like, let's fight some Sentinels and that kind of thing. Clearly, that's not going to happen. We may get variations of that. There's going to be a Sentinels book. I'm not sure when that's coming out, but I do think that there's a Sentinels book coming if it has not already come out yet. Jay Wilk says the X-Men are shades of personality. Xavier's hope, Wolverine rage and rage and anger, Cyclops duty, Jean Grey restrained passion, Angel vanity and insecurity, and so forth. Yeah. I mean, I've always maintained that no matter what you try to write these characters to be, whether it's a god or it's a goat or whatever, it's the human story. And so, what's going on, Frustrated? What's going on with you, bro? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Don't get weary, but behind the Washington Commandos. Don't get weary, my brother. Hang in there. All right, Ray says the Sentinel book is already out. Okay. Well, have you read it, bro? And if you read it, what you think of it? Is it something I should go pick up, or is it worth the look, or that kind of thing? Because like I said, I'm not really feeling the X-Men right now. Just not. I felt like the way they ended the Cowan era was long in the tooth. They should have been over with about a year ago, in my humble opinion. So I didn't read it. Okay, but it is out. I might give it a look, see, pick it up while I'm at the shop, picking up my pool or whatever. We'll see. Dev Rock said I used to be like Banshee before he died. He says, all right, Rich, the Commanders won today, so you can't talk ish. I'm not, bro. What did I say? I didn't like the Commandos, bro. I'm just saying, y'all did drop 3 in a row, though. Don't let y'all winning today distract the fact that y'all did drop 3 in a row. And that one that y'all lost last week, yeah, bro. I know why you didn't come through, but it's okay. I love you, Doc. Got nothing but love for you, bro. But anyway, shout out to frustrated sports fans. Yo, if you want to know, check out some good content on the Washington Commandos. Y'all go check out my man Frustrated. Give him a follow, and he always does a bang up job talking about the Commandos. And I love that commentary you gave when you were saying that don't be the nice team. You know what I'm saying? You were supposed to beat the brakes off the Cowboys. That's what's supposed to happen. It clearly didn't, but I definitely liked your thoughts about that, bro. He said my Steelers lost today. Shout out to Big Phil. Clinched the playoff spot, so I ain't tripping. Yeah, well, you know what, man? Like I talked earlier about the Steelers and them fighting with the Eagles, bro, and I was just like, man, Philly a problem, bro. I'm hoping we get Philly and the Lions in the NFC Championship game. That's what I want to see on towards going to the Super Bowl. That's what I want to see. Whoo! He said, "Hey, watch it, Rich. Come on, bro. Come on, just saying, man." So Jay Wilkes says they need to get into the Sentinels being mutants, much like the agent in the Matrix. Sentinels' enmity for mutants is a form of jealousy. Well, you know what? Maybe they will. You know what I'm saying? I think that they could they could definitely expand the lore on that. I think they could definitely go somewhere with that. Nerd Large, he says, rookie quarterback, first year head coach, Mando's doing all right. Oh, for sure. Look, bro, that's you really can't be mad at that. I you can't be mad at that dude. I mean, that dude is good, and he's got some up and coming time. They get a few more pieces around him, they're gonna be straight. I didn't think that they would. I think he's literally the head of the curve. I don't think that even Frustrated. I don't think he was expecting to be this good. But yeah, and the question becomes though: is the division weak, or is the Commandos better? And I just happen to think that the Commandos are better. So 1-1 Empire. Speaking of Commandos, what do you think of Creature Commando? Okay. I talked about Creature Commandos last week, and so we did have a new episode, and the episode featured G.I. Robot. I like G.I. Robot. G.I. Robot is really the only thing I like about this show. And, James Gunn is disgusting. I just think that dude's humor is sick and disgusting. I just think he do things. He's kind of like Ryan Reynolds without the nagging, if I can say it like that. But I definitely love G.I. Robot. He's my favorite character on the show. I think that, I'm looking forward to what they're going to do. It's definitely a welcome surprise. I'll say it like that. But, and it's so weird too, because I was digging in some long boxes and I was looking at some comic books with my man Jefferson Pierce in it. And there's one particular Action Comics from 800 series Superman book that the Creature Commandos are in it. But of course, I don't think. I'm not sure if G.I. Robot was in that particular. I didn't buy the book, but I happened to just thumb through it or whatever. But anyway, yeah, I like the show for what it is. My man says, this is dope live, so many topics at once, but it all makes sense now. Rich smiling and answering questions at the same time. Yeah. Hey, I just wanted to chop it up tonight, bro. I didn't have no, other than get the nonsense that was in my head about Storm out the way. I will take this time though to talk about T'Challa. I know a man feels is a Black Panther fan, and what's going on with T'Challa. I will just simply offer this. The Black Panther book is coming soon, y'all. That book is going to come out soon. Have they chosen a writer for it? I don't think so. What I do think is that Shirley Eaton, it's her book and then everybody else. She's the last writer to have everybody kind of excited about the series itself. But then there's always, what is Marvel trying to do long term? Black Panther's in a lot of books. And so because he's been in a lot of books, some people may think that, well, the Black Panther fans are all right because he's in this, he's in that. He's going to be in this, he's going to be in that. The Avengers stuff, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, what y'all doing? Where's the run? We want the run. And so, because I honestly believe that whoever gets the run, here's the rub. Whoever gets the run, the fans are going to expect T'Challa to be king again. I think it's one of those things where, okay, we've been removed from Ridley from this time. We've been removed from all the shenanigans with that run. We've been a little bit removed from his transition to where he's an outlaw. He's not even allowed in Wakanda. He needs to go back to being the king. I think that's the expectation from the people who are going to buy a Black Panther book in 2025. He's got to be the king. If he's not the king, they're going to storm the castle. Make that dude the king. So these Black Panther fans will see their guy back where he belongs. So my man Phil says, my issue with T'Challa in his own title is that the character is more about the writer than the character. Everybody wants to change the mythos. Well, like I say, Phil, I hope you got. I'm gonna get to your comment in a second. Frustrated. I hope you that you picked up Avengers issue number 20. If you have not picked up that book, or if you have not read that book, you should go back and read. You should go get that book and read it, because it's the first book that I've seen T'Challa in where we actually see this dude being the dude that he's been historically. He's got the blade out. He's cutting people. He's kicking butt, taking names. He ain't playing. He's the only Avenger in this particular. It's a Black Panther book, and it kind of came out, and it was kind of low key. A lot of people didn't talk about it, which I thought was kind of weird. And I think that with him being in the Avengers book, people have gotten so used to him being in these books, and so it's kind of casual. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's T'Challa. He's in an Avengers book. No big deal. No, he's the guy. He's the man. He's the superhero in this book. And there's an illusion of him being the king, or being who he's supposed to be, which is the king in the book itself. So I do think that him returning to the mantle, or as some of y'all don't like, I know some of y'all don't like that word mantle, him being the king of Wakanda is coming soon, I feel. Now, to your point, Frustrated, it says, I've been away for a minute. What was your thoughts on Absolute Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman? Okay, I have no thoughts on Absolute Wonder Woman because I have not read it. Absolute Batman, love it. Absolute Superman, love it. Absolute Superman is, I would say, is the surprise book. It's the surprise book. Many of the fanboys don't like it because it's a take on Krypton being, or having a caste system. Anything that smells like white supremacy, white folks don't like. They don't like when something smells like the sins of their fathers, they don't like it. But I'm here for it. So it's a different take on Krypton and how things shaped up in Krypton. I think you would enjoy it. And here's the thing. Absolute Batman is just crazy because one, it's Batman. Two, it's like Batman larger than life type Batman, if that makes any sense. So both books are great, but the Absolute Superman book is definitely, in my opinion, the prize book in the Absolute run. Moan says, I won't accept anything less than King T'Challa. Yeah, I think T'Challa's going to be king soon. There's no reason why he shouldn't be king, T'Challa, King T'Challa. I would like, this is funny. So shout out to my man Otis. I wish Otis was here because he might laugh when I say this. I want to see T'Challa, and oof, it kind of pains me to say this. Shout out to Paul. But I kind of want to see the intergalactic story kind of come back. I would like to see T'Challa operate as an emperor for a while. I know he has a regent in M'Baku, but this guy is an emperor. Okay, no one cares that he's an emperor, that he's the emperor of a galactic empire. Everybody wants him to be king, though. But okay, that's fine. But I would like to see him operate in that space and see what adventures he could come across. Brooklyn says, can anyone explain why Black Bolt had Quicksilver's daughter make Johnny Storm sleep with the woman that was engaged to Mary Doom? I don't know, bro. I don't know about that one, Brooklyn. It's comics, man. It's comics. It's comics. No, but what else says? Hey, Rich, that intergalactic run is fire. Well, here's the thing about that. People, I'm on record. I'm on record as not liking the intergalactic run. I didn't like T'Challa in space. I just did not like him. I didn't like him being a slave and whatever. Now, which is weird to me that a lot of Black Panther fans love that book. I'm like, okay, they made T'Challa a slave. Y'all here for that. But of course, he becomes they saw the hero's journey. And I did not see the hero's journey. I just saw my man's be a slave in space. And I'm like, Coates, what are you doing? Why are we out here? We need to be on Earth running things in Wakanda. But, that's the story he wanted to tell. And so, of course, it all goes back to Secret Wars. It seems like everything is going back to Secret Wars, which is why when they do the recast, everybody's saying that T'Challa will come back to screen after Secret Wars. So I'm like, whatever. My man Amani says it's a good sign that they re-released the intergalactic story as a prose book. I mean, look, I'm gonna be honest. I think it would probably read better. It probably would read better. I said that. I said that about 2 years ago. That if this was actually a book, this would probably be it would be fascinating to read. Now it says T'Challa in Aliens versus Avengers is dope. Overall story and art is dope. Please don't sleep. Oh no. I'm not sleeping on that. Not sleeping on that. I gotta say though, the aliens, they just like kind of like the aliens kind of wiped out everything. Like, how y'all gonna come back from this? So yeah. So, but going back to T'Challa, you know what I'm saying? I think that him being king is going to happen soon. And so I'm looking forward to that. One of the things that um, I'm also looking forward to in the new year is I'm hoping that after this Black Lightning run, which is supposed to be like 6 issues, I hope it gets extended. I hope it gets extended, because if it gets extended, then my man can get some real shine. He can do some real things in the DC universe. So one Cushman says, "Where can we get that shirt?" So one Cushman, let me say this: that we are going to roll out a promo for this shirt. You know what I'm saying? It's got my man Franklin reading the Black Comic Lords variant. Got all the Black comic books right here on the side. I'm sorry. That's a dope shirt. And it just says the top of it, "Happiness is." And we're going to have these in multiple colors. We got them in black, got them in chocolate, got them in this yellow, blue. I think we have a royal blue. But we're going to come to you guys pretty soon. Soon as the creator, who is Otis Arterberry, Black Lion Arterberry, and J. Napoleon Winston of Winston's Wham put the store together. We're going to be having these for sale pretty soon. So stay tuned. You know, if you're not subscribed to our channel, make sure you subscribe to our channel, because when we do roll it out, you know what I'm saying, you'll hear about it on our YouTube channel, most likely, or on our Instagram first. So stay tuned. We finna put that in the pipe real soon. You see, Nerd Lord says, "At this point, I'm not going out my way to read a big 2 comic book without any black male characters featured." I mean, we all have our preferences, and I'm not mad at that, and I'm kind of there with you. But I will say this, that I hope you are reading Black Lightning, because Black Lightning, Jefferson Pierce, it's a guy, it's black. They got his family. It's a black superhero family. What's not to love about that? So I hope that you're supporting that at least. Jay Woods, I could see T'Challa fighting Gladiator dude with some issues. When Shi'ar Empire and Vibranium, T'Challa has a lot of responsibilities as warrior and king. There's so much that they could do. And Jay says you could possibly create a whole different avenue for T'Challa as Emperor, new villains, allies, characters, and all. Who said they can't be a part of Earth at some point? Yep. Mawan says read Shadow Cabinet too. Absolutely. Shadow Cabinet by the Godfather Joe Illidge is amazing. I'm definitely looking forward to issue number 2. As I'm not seeing it, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I really want to see another Static book. We need another season of Static. The last one, Static book, was pretty dope. And shout out to my man Nicholas Draper Ivy. He put some stuff out on the internet. I think he was just voicing his frustration. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna go ahead and ready to wrap this up, guys. These guys, who I think we consider our heroes, or our people artists who we're fans of, and we're a fan of their work and that kind of thing. And even us ourselves, we're human beings, and we go through things, and we get frustrated, and we endure a lot of different things and disappointment, and that's part of growth. It's not easy, you know what I'm saying? As I said in my little thing right there, life be lifing. And you have to take care of your mental health, and you have to take care of your mental. Let me tell you something. There is, as a brother, as a black man, if I pay attention to all the negativity that comes my way, I might as well delete myself, because there's always something negative being implied, inferred, assumed when it comes to being a black man, being demonized. And that's just the surface level stuff. That's how the world thinks. But then when your circle, or when you have issues in your tribe, that's a whole nother level of pain, a whole nother level of frustration. I'll share some transparent moment with you guys. I think it was Thursday. I think I came home. I was physically tired. And I was so tired, I didn't want to talk to my wife. And I explained to her that I had a rough day, and all I want to do is get a shower, get something to eat, and go to bed. And you know, I spoke to my wife a day or so after that, and I told her, I said, look, I'm sorry, boo, I didn't want to like talk. I just needed a moment. And sometimes that's something that the world doesn't always offer you, is a moment. Sometimes the world can't afford for you to have a moment. And sometimes you have to be selfish and take that moment. And if ain't nobody died, if ain't nothing on fire, if it's just, the knick-knack problems of the day, and this one got an issue and that one got an issue, and this one needs this and that one needs that, you know what? It's going to be there when I get back. Let me take this moment. That's why these comics are so powerful. Shout out to my man, DJ Big Phil. DJ Big Phil did something. He created an exhibit that's playing right now at the August Wilson, surrounding comic books and comic book art. And he did this was a passion project for him. But I don't talk to Phil all the time, but I don't need to see Phil's life to know that he went through some stuff while he was putting that together. I don't need to be in his business to know that he had naysayers. I don't need to be in his business to know that he had people that didn't believe in him. I don't need to be in his business to know that there were days when he was the only one that saw the vision. And sometimes being that guy by yourself, and then you do the work and you make it happen, and you get the credit for doing something, accomplish something, but no one really can give you the credit that you deserve. It'll always fall short. And part of it is because it's something that he did because he wanted to do, but he really did that for people that he would never lay his eyes on. He did that for people who will never be able to walk up to him personally and say thank you. He did that for people who will never be able to appreciate what he really did. And most of the time, the people that are in our lives, they cannot appreciate you for what you do on a day-to-day basis. It's usually not until after you're gone that everybody can really appreciate who you are. I'm just saying, guys, that there is lights out here, lights that Black men are shining in the darkness. This is one of them. So I salute my brother for doing this, because, again, I know it wasn't easy. And DJ Big Phil is very, very engaging, and he's very gracious with his time, and he's kind, and he's hilarious, and nothing seems to bother him. But I know that's a Black man. That's a Black man that has passion. And so because that's a Black man that has passion, and his personality may be to not, not to cry or whine about things or whatever, but That's a black man that goes through everything that we all go through and still find a way to persevere. We have real heroes in our space, y'all. Real heroes. Real heroes. I ain't talking about somebody wearing a cape and a cowl and a mask and is in a comic book. That's why I love being black, because black folks have real heroes. I just, I really, people talk about black girl magic and black boy joy and all of this stuff. Like, yeah, that's all right. But there's nothing like black excellence. We have it. We come from it. We are that. And so I can't get upset about a comic book, an issue in a comic book, when I got real, live, breathing superheroes doing super fly stuff like this. I'm just saying, man. I want to give you my flowers, bro, because I'll give you your flowers, because I know that to do this, it was not easy. To fight through disappointment, to fight through difficulties, logistics wise, or whatever, trying to juggle life and family and all that to do something like this, something that's going to be bigger than you, something that after you're gone or whatever, people will still be able to look at. Your community will be able to salute you. You put a brick in the building in Pittsburgh, bro. I'm just happy I know you. I'm just happy I know you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So anyway, guys, I just want you to just really, do not allow the darkness and the negative energy that sometimes gets in the comic books and through people's commentary. Remind yourself that this is supposed to be fun. And when it stops being fun, you got whoever it is you're listening to, even if it's me, you gotta say, you know what, that brother's having a rough day today. No, we gotta lift each other up for real. Gotta really lift each other up. I can't tear a brother down because he wrote something I didn't like in the book. That's a brother. That's still my brother. That's still my brother. I have to be my brother's keeper. I can disagree with my brother, but I'm still his keeper. So Paul says, play the new trailer, Rich. Okay, I don't know what the new trailer is, or if the collection of the back trailer, whatever it is you got. If you got it, Derek, go on and play it. We'll be right back. If you got it, Derek.
Happy we're here.
Soaking it up, man. This is
it is, and I'm glad you're here. For me, it means a lot that you made your way here, because it's one thing to have, like, it's a strange dynamic, because I've had so many people come to see the exhibit who are not in our particular space,
right,
and they love it,
right,
absolutely love it. Get all type of crazy accolades. It's
as we were just walking around here, people were walking around off the street, looking at exhibits, seeing you, thanking you, saying, "Hey, I never knew about this. Thank you."
Right.
That's real, and be very genuine with it.
Right.
Because that's knowledge you didn't know about.
I thought what you did was loud and quiet at the same time.
Thank you.
Because if you are coming from the historical perspective, you see that.
Right.
But it's quiet enough where everyone feels included.
Thank you.
And we're just happy we got to bring our son to see it.
Appreciate that. That means a lot. And I think too, like when I was telling somebody downstairs, I think the thing about this exhibit that sets it apart is that a lot of exhibits you go to, there's this laser focus mentality.
Right.
So I think there is a laser focused mentality here, but there's branches that go out. So
that's why it's called collections, plural.
It's plural
in Black.
Plural. And it's not just Black characters, Black artists, Black culture, Black moments, et cetera, et cetera. But those aren't all necessarily drawn by African Americans. But they're still play a part in the experience. You know, if we were
capturing the experience,
if we were to alienate everybody from out of the culture, we'd have no Black Panther.
Right.
And we can argue that all day. We can have people that have those issues with it, but we wouldn't have that. But it's also important to see the interpretation of Black Panther through a Brian Still freeze, or to see it through the lens of like a Ken Lashley, just because of what it means to them. That doesn't mean that J. Scott Campbell can't do a dope Black Panther, because if I said that, I'd be lying.
Right.
One of the greatest Black Panther covers is Black Panther #5. Right. Storm, T'Challa, Shuri, like he's captured, everything. But I think it's also that when you love a character, it kind of translates into, into the finished product. But you can also love a character and not be a good artist. So I guess that doesn't count either.
I missed the details before that you had Billy Graham, Matt Baker, Jack Gomez, and Arvell Jones on there. That's nice. It's a nice touch.
Appreciate it. I mean, it's what we do.
Wish I had me a Black Comic Lord sticker. I'd stick it in the corner.
Salute. Shout out to y'all, my man DJ Bigfield and my man Paul, doing big things in Pittsburgh. I'll be honest, I didn't know that you had that Paul lined up. So it goes to show you how brotherhood community works. That somebody like myself, who's not aware of nothing going on, that we having this discussion or we having these thoughts. I'm giving my brother his props and his flowers, and we have that to play. You know what I'm saying? Because I just think that is what's necessary for sure. My man Mawan says, "Brightest, blackest night, no evil should keep myself. Let those who worship evil's might beware our power. Black comic lord's light." That's what's up. So yo, I'm gonna wrap this up, man. Thanks guys for hanging out with your boy on tonight. Hang out with us on Wednesday upcoming. We're gonna be talking to Brandon Thomas about Black Lightning issue #2. So it should be a dope discussion. And again, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube content. Follow us on Instagram and our YouTube space as well. And if you want to just see some Black comics, Black independent comics, go to our website, blackcomiclords.net. We have a whole gang of independent links for you to click on and grab comic books from. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and give you the benediction. The benediction takes place from the book of Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. And I'm going to just read a few scriptures here because I love this, because it kind of goes along with what DJ Bigfield says in regards to accomplishment and what it means. It says, "What does the worker gain from his struggles? I have seen the task that God has given the children of Adam to keep them occupied. He has made everything appropriate in its time. He has also put eternity in their hearts, but no one can discover the work God has done from the beginning to the end. I know that there is nothing better for them to rejoice and enjoy the good of life. It is also the gift of God. Whenever anyone eats, drinks, and enjoys all his effort, I know that everything God does will last forever. There is no adding to it or taking away from it. God works so that people will be in awe of him." From the stronghold that is Black Comic Lords and Black Superheroes Forever, it's your boy Rich. We say peace. I see you when I see you. We out.